These are the cheapest low volume cymbals I could find. Resonito. What's up, Allenhouse Sound? Today we're going to do a cymbal review. Let's get started. So welcome to our rehearsal studio. If you haven't seen the video series about this, we built this studio, probably 3 years ago. I think it was 2018. Wow, that's 5 years ago now. So 2018, we built this studio. It's in a warehouse that our church owns. I'll walk you around real quick. It looks a lot different now than it did in the original build. The walls are painted. We've got pictures. A little interior decorating, sometimes askew. But I'll show you, we've got a PA in here, so it's really easy to come in. We've got 12-inch top cabinets, a 12-inch sub, a little analog mixer. Got a drum kit, obviously, drum kit. It's a little Tama Imperial Star. It's a basic kit. It doesn't sound the greatest, but usually I bring my little rings and stick them on the toms and put my cymbal bag in front of the kick drum, and it works out fine. Got some vocal mics here, kind of pre-wired. So people just come in, bring their stuff, plug in, start playing, start singing, and you don't need a bass amp. Some of the guitarists bring an amp and stick it in here, but you don't need anything big. It's kind of a small room. Let me flip you around here. So it is set up for podcasting. We've got a podcast, obviously, table with some the Rode pod mics there, a little TV. This stuff here, these wall treatments are just, sound insulation. There is rock wool behind this, and then this black soundproofing material sits on top of it. We got one on each side of the room. So we got one there, and then we've got another one over here as well. And yeah, we've got the fake brick wall, the faux brick wall. We've got a little mini split in here as well. And again, we've got the 12-inch top cabinet up there. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I will go ahead and link the playlist to that up here, as well as down in the description, in case you're interested in seeing how we built this, when we built it, and all those details. Again, the look is very different now. But we're here to talk about cymbals. I bought the cheapest cymbals on Amazon. Super cheap. Let me show you what we got. Came with a nice no-name bag, which is great. Fit all the cymbals in here. These are the cheapest low-volume cymbals I could find. Resonito. These things, they're modeled after the Zildjan A Mediums, obviously, with the holes in them. They don't make a whole lot of noise. And the kit, the thing comes with 14-inch hats, a 16-18 crash, and then this 20-inch ride. So for 5 cymbals and a bag, and it was somewhere under $100. Really not a bad deal. We need to see how they sound. Now, full transparency, I've been playing on these for about 3 weeks because I actually played a gig with these. I wanted to see what they sounded like in the real world. It was a youth gig. We needed low volume, and they actually fit fine in the mix because we had a full band. We didn't need a whole lot of sound from cymbals and wash. So these actually worked pretty well, according to my sound engineer, trusted resource. But we're gonna set these up. We're gonna put them on the kit. I brought my real Zildjan Medium A's, and we'll kind of compare, do a A and B test. I'm going to set up my Zoom recorder right back here next to you guys so that we can get a consistent sound, not through the phone, but through a Zoom recorder. But this little kit, we'll throw some B-roll in here as I'm setting up and let you guys see what these things look like up close. And yeah, let's get going. All right, so here's the hats as we start out with. The hi-hats, 14-inch hats. This is just top and bottom hats right now. To me, they sound very chicky. So what I found with these is there's a bunch of bright overtones that come out of it. While they have a faster decay, they're so light and thin that they just have this kind of weird piercing overtone. So I tend to put my ching ring on it, which is this little homemade ching ring here. And it helps to dampen it and make it sound more appealing, I think. So I put that guy on there. It still doesn't sound very hi-hat-ish, but it cuts out some of that kind of piercing overtones. Next one I want to look at is the 18-inch crash. So if I hit with the stick here, if I wash it, "20-inch ride," bell, sometimes you'll wash it like a crash. Let's put these together with the full kit. There is a 16-inch crash. We don't have a place to hold it up. I found that these were the best two cymbals to play, and I'll tell you my idea when we finish up here. Let's play. All right, so in the context of the full kit, obviously those cymbals are way softer. We're going to put my Zildjan A Mediums up here in just a second, do the same thing. That way we can kind of A-B them together. Same beats, same locations. We'll even put the ching ring on because that's what I usually play with. But I think that for the inexpensive, under $100 route, they serve a purpose. And I'm going to show you a little bit in just a minute of what this final purpose is for, why I bought these, why I wanted to review them, and why I've taken the liberty to kind of play a little bit with them before just handing them over. But let's swap these cymbals out, put the Zildjan A's up there, and we'll see what it sounds like. All right, next up, the old faithful Zildjan A Mediums. We've got a 20-inch medium ride, 18-inch medium crash, 14-inch new beat hats, and this actually sounds like a cymbal. It has body, it has ring, it has depth, and no holes. All right, 14-inch new beat hats. So again, I usually put my ching ring on there, slap that on. Obviously, they're considerably louder. Let's try the 18-inch crash. Inch ride. Bell. Wash it. Let's do a beat. Bell. So the kids have this amazing room that they get to use. The acoustics are awesome for strings, but not for drum sets. So let me show you over here in the corner. They've got this drum kit, and it's a basic kit. It does what it's supposed to do. It makes appropriate noises. But I want to show you something about the cymbals, and that's why we're doing this video today. They're living the sock life. They've got socks on the few drums and cymbals that they can use, trying to deaden the sound. And so we're going to end up hooking them up with some low volume cymbals. So if we play this crash in here, it's a little overbearing, but when you put a sock on a ride cymbal, what they're trying to accomplish here is killing the overtones and killing the decay. I think the low volume cymbals are going to be a perfect application in here. And I've come in a couple times. I've played with some of their beginning groups and just kind of helped to offer some beat on the drum set. But yeah, you really have to find the balance between sound as well as volume control and sustain. So today we're going to check out these low volume cymbals. We're going to help this group out. All right, so in the end, what do I think about these Resonito low volume cymbals? They do have less sustain. They do have less volume. The thinness of them, I mean, they are very flexible. The thinness, which achieves some of that decay and less overtone, it ends up creating. It ends up putting the cymbal in a higher register. Here's an example. I played a choir gig a week and a half ago, and I tried these in rehearsal. 20-inch ride, 18-inch crash, 14-inch hats. And the music director came up to me at the end of the song in the practice, and he said, "The drums are too loud." I had to ask clarifying questions too. What do you mean by the drums are too loud? Is it the drums or is it the cymbals? He stopped for a second and he said, "It's the cymbals." And what was happening, it was a little swing gig, and what was happening is that the 20-inch ride that I was playing mostly, it was sitting right in the register of the female vocalists. So that cymbal, even though low volume cymbal, was washing over, sitting right in the range of the female vocalist. So it was removing their diction and all of their quality that the audience would need to hear. So I went ahead and switched. I put the A Medium ride up there, played that one. I played with a hot rod even to just have less volume out of it. And that ended up working out. I kept this 20-inch ride as a crash cymbal actually, so that I could hit it, I could get a little flourish, but it died away. The 20-inch had just enough meat to seem like a crash that I would maybe want to play. Now, I did say that I had a thought and an idea, and I'll tell you what that was. These 14-inch hats, they're not normal hats. You have a heavier cymbal on the bottom and a lighter cymbal on top. And these are just two of the exact same stamped cymbals, so you don't have a top or bottom. It creates some of that kind of different sounds to it, but they're so pingy and so overtone heavy. What I want to do is buy a second set or find a 16-inch, additional 16-inch cymbal like this, and use these as 16-inch hats and see if that sits any better in the mix. Still gives you low volume, but maybe a little bit more body and maybe a little less of the overtones, but a short decay. It's a thought I had because they actually make, these are the gold ones, they make like a tungsten silver looking set, and then they make some crazy, like 14-year-old wants to be cool, multicolored cymbals. So I bought these because the place that these are going to go to, I believe that these will fit better in the look and feel of what that venue calls for. So these cymbals, do I recommend these? I think they're great for the right reason. Listen, you're not going to go putting railroad ties in with a screwdriver. You're going to use a hammer, a big one, right? And so if I go out to play a real gig, I'm going to play my real cymbals. But if I've got to practice at home and I don't want to have to put earplugs in, I can put these cymbals up and be fine. The last gig that I did with these was a youth gig in our space that's, I'm pointing like you can see it, but we've got a multi-purpose room right over there. It has hard floors, big glass doors behind where the drum kit was sitting, square walls, and I played these and they set well in the mix. So here's the difference between when these worked and when these didn't work for me. Practice space worked real well. This gig that I did for the youth group worked well because we had bass, keyboard, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and a couple vocalists. So I was just sitting in playing beats underneath all of the other things that were going on, and these cymbals played fine in there. Okay? Now, when it was the choir gig, and it was a choir, a piano, and drum set, the cymbals were rather exposed, and that showed some of the less than desirable qualities of the sound of these. But all in all, for $100, if you need a low volume set of cymbals and you don't want to pay the hundreds of dollars for the name brand ones, these are a great option. You can even get multicolored if you want. Sweet. But that's it. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Resonito low volume cymbals from Amazon. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs up because there's effort put into this video. But if you've got any questions or comments, go ahead and put those in the comment section below. I'm always answering the comments. And if you've got any needs, typically we're doing sound production stuff, but if you've got any needs that you want to reach me outside of YouTube, you can look in the description. There's a link to my website and a contact card that you can fill out to get a hold of me outside of YouTube. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.